If you watch a lot of Etsy content on YouTube, you've probably seen this type of thumbnail, where there's this big amount of cash typed out here with a low commitment time frame here, and some sort of vague but compelling call to action here. And then there's this face. And then the video goes on to show this insanely successful Etsy shop, usually using an analytics tool on how certain products or shops are making thousands of dollars practically overnight. And we're hooked. These videos get tons of views. People love them, myself included. And because Etsy has such a low barrier to entry, most people who start their own Etsy shops after watching these videos end up disappointed when they don't immediately get the same results. Now, this video isn't meant to discourage anyone from opening an Etsy shop or give up on being an Etsy seller at all. But the hard truth about selling on Etsy is that selling on Etsy is hard, truthfully. And I could end the video at this, but I've been doing some thinking. And I wondered, what is it about these kinds of clickbaity Etsy videos that have us in a chokehold? So I've been doing some research and found out why these videos work so well. And it turns out, these videos use proven psychological tricks. And I realized that if videos, even just the thumbnails, can have that effect on us, why can't we use the same psychological tactics to get buyers hooked on our own Etsy shops? That is what I want to share with you today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jai, and I'm a graphic designer currently working in the digital marketing space. Just like a lot of you, I opened an Etsy shop after being persuaded by those same clickbait YouTube videos. So why do we keep watching these types of videos, hoping to find the magic formula for becoming rich? The first reason is that we're wired to trust other people's success. This phenomenon is called social proof. Social proof is this idea that we tend to look at what other people are doing to figure out what's good, what's popular, or what's worth trying ourselves. For example, this is why you're more likely to eat at a crowded restaurant than an empty one. It's kind of a shortcut that our brains use to make decisions, especially when we don't have all the information. If other people like it, then it must be good, right? These Etsy videos capitalize on social proof in a huge way. When we see someone making what looks like easy money on Etsy, we think, if it worked for them, it should work for me too. And honestly, that's not a bad instinct. It's how a lot of us learn. It's how we get to discover new interests, new hobbies, and goals. But the thing with social proof is, it doesn't tell you the whole story. These videos focus on the highlights, the big earnings, the success, but they leave out the listings in the shop that don't even have any sales. So we're not really seeing a map to success. We're seeing a curated snapshot of someone's best moments. But our brains just see the success and think, I could totally do that too. Now, in the context of Etsy, one of the ways that social proof exists in the position of the buyer is reviews. Of course, more reviews equals more trust. It's an advantage that bigger shops have over smaller shops. So, how do smaller shops get more reviews? First, aim to provide a premium experience for your buyer. This can mean packaging that feels thoughtful, fast response times to questions, or even a simple thank you note that makes the customer feel appreciated. When customers feel valued, they're much more likely to leave positive feedback. And second, super simple. Ask for the reviews. You can politely follow up with customers a few days after the purchase has arrived. You can say something like, "Hi, I'd like to hear your feedback. It really helps grow my shop and reach more people who might love what you do." By showing appreciation and creating a welcoming experience, you're not just gathering reviews. You're building relationships with your buyers and building trust in your shop. Over time, this strategy helps build our shop's credibility and attracts more buyers. Next, let's talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's that feeling you get when you think other people are experiencing something amazing and you don't want to be left out. No one does. And in these videos, the fear of missing out is everywhere. They make it seem like there's this massive opportunity on Etsy right now. Like if you don't jump in immediately, you're gonna miss your chance to be part of this incredible gold rush. What's funny about FOMO in the context of Etsy is that Etsy's not exactly new. It's been around since 2005. So people have been selling on Etsy for almost 2 decades now. Trends have come and gone, not just in Etsy, but everywhere. But these videos create this sense of urgency, like the window of opportunity is closing fast. It's like they're saying, everyone else is making money, and if you wait, you lose. And that feeling of FOMO is super powerful because it pushes us to act, before we think. Instead of taking time to research, figure out a plan to build a solid business, or even just consider if we're ready and have the capacity to commit. FOMO tells us to just do it now. We think, I don't want to be the only one left behind if everyone else is getting rich. But FOMO skips over all the tough parts of building a business and how much time it might actually take. So we jump in, hoping to see immediate results. And when we don't get those results, it's definitely discouraging. We'd be wishing we had started sooner. Before I dive into how to leverage FOMO in our Etsy shops, I want to dig into another one of these tricks because they're gonna be related to each other. And that is the big numbers in the thumbnail. We've all seen it, $10,000 in a day, $100,000 in a month, or my first $50,000 on Etsy. And we click because who wouldn't want to know how to make that kind of money? We live in a capitalistic society, so we're hardwired to be drawn to those big numbers. This taps into something called anchoring bias. Anchoring bias is this little trick our brains play on us where the first piece of information we see sticks with us, even if it seems crazy. So when a video says $1,000 a day, that number becomes our anchor. It's this high standard we start comparing everything else to, even if it may not be realistic for a new Etsy shop. The problem is, these big numbers in the videos might come from one particularly successful month, or a huge sale event, or they got lucky and their product went viral. Even well-established Etsy sellers can't predict if their product is gonna go viral. But because our brains anchor onto that $10,000 or whatever big number, we start to feel like anything less is a failure. Those big numbers skew our expectations in a way that makes it feel nearly impossible to be satisfied with smaller, realistic wins. And that can make us feel like we're failing, even when we're not. And this is gonna be a weird transition, but now how do we leverage FOMO and anchoring bias in our own Etsy shops to drive sales and engagement? One of the best ways to create FOMO is to run limited time sales. If a customer knows an item's price is only reduced for a short time, they're more likely to buy now rather than wait and miss out on the deal. And as a new seller, these sales are super powerful because they not only attract attention, but also give people that little push to act quickly. On the platform, you can see how listings with sales command extra attention. It shows the percentage of the sale, and if the sale is almost ending, it is also indicated right there on the search page and on the product page with a countdown timer. And of course, bigger sales percentages or discounts are more appealing to buyers. Think about it. Which looks like a better deal even though the end price is the same? This discount or this discount? That's anchoring bias at work. As a digital product seller, I have found that a lot of my competitors run 50%, even 70% discounts on all their items. But that doesn't mean that you should be pricing at a loss or below your desired price. Say you wanna sell your product at $10. So if you wanna run a 50% sale, then on the create a listing page, your original price will be double your desired price. So here's the thing. We all wanna believe in the idea of easy money. Life is tough, and the idea of making thousands on Etsy by just listing a few products is incredibly compelling. It's why we click on these videos, even though a part of us knows it's probably not that simple. We want it to be true because it would make life so much easier. This is called motivated reasoning. It's a fancy way of saying that we're more likely to believe something if it aligns with what we want to be true. When we watch these videos, our brains are like, this could be my escape from the 9 to 5. And these videos are designed to feed into that hope. They sell us an ideal lifestyle, but they skip over the hard parts of running an Etsy shop and focus on the glamour of big payouts and passive income. So we're left with this illusion that Etsy success is just around the corner, even though realistically, it takes a lot of unpaid hard work upfront, strategic planning, and tons of patience. If YouTube videos can sell us an ideal lifestyle, we can do the same in our Etsy shops. And one of the best ways to achieve that is with high-quality mock-up photos. And Etsy even puts emphasis on this in their seller's guide. Think of your mockups as the visual hook for your listings. Just like those videos paint a dream scenario, a well-styled mockup photo can help buyers imagine your product in their lives. If you're selling a cozy blanket, maybe show it draped over a chair in a warmly lit room. If it's digital art prints, you can display them framed on a stylish wall. After all, on Etsy, we're not just selling items, we're selling the experience, style, comfort, and ease that those products can bring in someone's life. Selling on Etsy or anywhere else for that matter is about building a real sustainable business, not just chasing a quick win. While these videos we see might paint a picture of fast success, the truth is that growing an Etsy shop takes a lot of time, effort, and willingness to learn from each step along the way. Now, I'm not saying that even at this point in the game, it's impossible for your shop or product to blow up. It can definitely happen. But instead of getting caught up in the hype and the possibility of hitting the jackpot with just one of your products, focus on what you can control. And that is being consistent, creating products that offer value, connecting authentically with your customers, and continuously refining your shop based on what works best for you. Remember, it's okay to start small and grow over time. Every sale, every review, every bit of positive feedback is a step forward, and it's building a brand that's unique and true to you. As for the clickbait YouTube videos, am I saying that we should stop watching these types of content? No, I'm still gonna continue watching them, but more as a form of entertainment and motivation, and to stay updated on what's trending. I think there's always gonna be a part of us that's skeptical of the big numbers in these videos, and that's actually a good quality. It's called media literacy. By questioning what we see and not getting swept up in unrealistic expectations, we can better understand what goes into building a real business. So we can watch them, get inspired, but let's not forget to take a step back and critically think about how we apply that inspiration to our own journeys. It's also important to be mindful of who we get information from. My favorite Etsy YouTubers are the ones who not only share success stories, but also offer value-packed content with personal strategies that have worked for them. And look, I get it, YouTube is a business too, and creators need views to grow. Let's face it, how I reached $1,000 a month after selling on Etsy for a year doesn't have the same ring and mass appeal to it, especially to those who don't know much about Etsy yet. That's why my goal is to be the kind of creator you can always turn to for helpful, actionable, and realistic advice. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. I'd love to take you along on this ride. In fact, if you haven't seen it already, you can check out my first 3 months on Etsy right here.